Shalom Yeshurala. Before we go into this lesson, we give all honor, all glory, and all praises be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. We give double honor to the apostles and prophets and elders of GMS Camp, better known as Great Millstone, for the bring forth the 100% truth that have been currently edified under. Shalom to the elect, Tabernacle of David, and I am Roberta Zariak coming to this lesson. Now, what we're dealing with the topic is right now, as you see here, hepatitis. The main issue is with hepatitis B, but we also have remedies concerning the rest. Alright? So, without further ado, let's get into the scriptures to start, because it's very important, because this is information, especially those that might have or might have went through or may be going through, that are in truth, that you could also receive help. And as scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, for the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So in times like coming to now, where things is much more dire, where diseases is in the atmosphere, where bioweapons is literally hitting continent to continent, now is the time to get your body in order, get yourself ready, and have faith and trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because the scriptures made clear in Ecclesiasticus chapter 38 and verses 4. But let's get the whole point from top to 4. It says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him, for Yahweh hath created him. It says, of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. As it continues, it says, for Yahweh had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. That's the point. So receiving what I'm saying here, if you know you're going through symptoms, you have people who are in the truth that's going through similar symptoms, or of what you know as hepatitis, whether it be A, B, or C, or whatever, you name it. There are remedies provided to rectify the situation, whether you believe it or not. Because many of these compounds that is changed into chemical compounds and that is combined together usually come from the natural earth. Yes, I said it. So, and as we know according to scriptures, Yahweh Shem Yahushai created what? Herbs yielding seeds and fruit trees yielding seed, which is in itself. These are what we know and what is could be used to do what? Cleanse, and to do what? Restore. Part of the job of a physician, because going to 5 it says, water the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known. So, in other words, it's just like a brew. Even though it might be a different understanding, but it's a similar, when you really read it, it's similar unto a brew. But let's go back into it, because let's go into the topic itself. So what we're going to do now, which is hepatitis. Since hepatitis means inflammation of the liver, it can be temporary, acute, or long-term, which is chronic, depending on the cause. Main types of hepatitis is viral hepatitis, which is hepatitis A, HAV, spreads by contaminated food or water. Short-term illness does not become chronic. Vaccine available. Hepatitis B, HBV, which spreads through blood or sex or from mother to baby, can become chronic. Vaccine available for it though. Hepatitis C, HCV, spread mainly through blood, often becomes chronic. No vaccines, but curable with medication. Hepatitis D, which is HDV, only affects people who already have hepatitis B, makes hepatitis B more severe. And hepatitis E, which is HEV, spreads through contaminated water, usually acute, dangerous in pregnancy though. So that is the only thing to look out for. But as we have all the hepatitis from A to D now, and we understand what they are called to ESLAC, and we understand what it caused, we understand how detrimental it could be. We should now pay more attention as to what we could use to do what? Rectify the situation. But it says non-viral causes is alcohol, alcoholic hepatitis, fatty liver disease, which is obesity or diabetes, medications or toxins, immune and autoimmune hepatitis, which is immune system attacks the liver, which also goes in the line of they call this autoimmune disease by the name of lupus, similar in itself. So the common symptoms is fatigue, yellowing of the eyes or skin like jaundice, dark urine, pale stool, nausea or vomiting, loss of appetite, right side or abdominal pain, Many people, especially with hepatitis B or C, has no symptoms for years. Diagnose, blood tests, liver enzymes, viral markers, ultrasound or imaging, sometimes liver biopsy. Treatments for hepatitis A and E usually rest and fluids recovery. It says B, monitoring of antiviral medication, and C, antiviral drugs often cures it. And next, as you continue, alcoholic, stop alcohol completely, immune suppressing medication, and it goes on, prevention, vaccine for Hep A and B, safe sex practice, avoid sharing needles or razors, safe food and clean water, limit or avoid alcohol. So this is what we have as prevention. However, the reason why I don't trust in vaccines because of what happened 2019, and when the vaccines was distributed, many people were unalive by said vaccine. In fact, even today, as my dream continues to come to pass, many people just recently, as of a month ago, I am a witness to this. 7 people in one village had passed in the same time. They couldn't even find the issue of their passing. All that the solution was something was hindering oxygen delivery to a particular organ, which then then begins to what? Cause a disruption within the organs. So after a while, it becomes what? Detrimental to their health, which of course leading to their being unalived. And a few of the symptoms to mark for all of them was clots. One more time, clots, impaired liver. What causes these things? In the same vaccine, PEG, polyethylene, DSPC, and the clots, mRNA, on mature mRNA, which we did enough breakdowns on. So you know what I'm saying here is not false. See what happens when you do your research and you bring it out? What I'm saying here right now is not false. The information is on my TikTok. The information is on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp and my YouTube. Most important, my YouTube. So this is why it shouldn't be a thing to trust vaccines, because these people have used the exact same thing to try to unalive our people. That's just what it is. So there's a different alternative which you can direct yourself to by remedies. What kind of remedies? Herbal remedies that actually works, because I've treated more than 2 people for the same hepatitis, by the way, or liver impair or inflammation of the liver, and the results of them being better was confirmed. They are still alive. One had hepatitis B, and I think 2 of them had hepatitis B. No, 1, 2, 3 had hepatitis B. So that one had hepatitis A. So that one wasn't nothing too much to see about. But the B was more of the harder ones, which went within a month time. A matter of fact, a few weeks, the symptoms begin to reduce, and within a month time it's gone. No joke. So without further ado, let us provide the first remedy for hepatitis, whether it be A to E, because what works for B, I'm sure is going to work for C and D and E. All right, most important. Let's go into it. Firstly, we have herbal remedies, which are dandelion, echinacea, feverfew, golden seal, kudzu, milk thistle, and nerve root, passion flower, quasar, which is very high in iron and magnesium, and thyme. Most important, these combination of herbs is going to do its trick in preventing, relieving symptoms, and rectifying the problem. In other words, curing it. As well as the diet program that is provided below: broccoli, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, dandelions, kale, mustard greens, okras, oranges, peaches, pears, quince, raw peanuts, and turnip greens. Now, what you could do if you need is add your greens together. Listen to what I'm saying. Add your greens together along with some okra. Make some orange juice, no sugar, and you could have peaches, pears, and you could have your peanuts as a side snack on an evening. So you're eating twice a day, one being lunchtime and a side snack being in the evening. Watch how easy it is to literally form a proper diet without cutting out from your enjoyment of snacking at the same time. Keep that in mind. Right, so we finish on this one, on to the next one. There we have it. So this doesn't only have hepatitis B, it also have C, which is again, and we have direct hepatitis B and C cures, which are Carolina, germanium, cat's claw, self-heal, and water plantain. And for hepatitis C, we have chaga, very crucial. Chaga is very crucial. A mushroom is very crucial for increasing digestive system, strengthening immune system, rectifying liver issues, especially dealing with hepatitis B and C. Now, not to mention, one of the herbs that is compatible with chaga is turkey tail and reishi mushrooms. Those three hand in hand, along with some sea moss gel and some fruits and veggie or fruit juice, no sugar of course, natural fruit and veggie based juice with a pinch of ginger, lettuce or kales, ginger, green apples, lemon, and I guess we call it pears if you want to as well. You blend that together, or you have a juicer, you make a juicer, and you get the drink. And all you're doing is drinking 6 glasses a day, which is 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, 2 in the night. Whilst you take on, which is your reishi mushrooms, you digest those whilst you are consuming your sea moss. That remedy which I give right there, you do that for 5 days straight. This doesn't need measurements. Or you do it for 5 days straight. Of course, water is needed, but not the average alkaline water or pipe water. You need spring water or high pH balanced water. With that, or you can even get plant-based digestive enzymes, which are going to be used now to absorb the nutrients faster, allowing these same remedies to work more efficient. So you have chaga, which I give as a next remedy before I give a next remedy for hepatitis, all hepatitis, whilst calling one in hepatitis C. So now we have hepatitis C again, which is chaga, licorice, and self-heal. So as we continue, we give one first remedy, second remedy, third remedy, and fourth remedy. There's 4 remedies we have so far. Now we're going to give to the last one, deal with hepatitis in itself. So hepatitis, for the overall, we have 2 herbs, 2 combinations. One for overall for the hepatitis, and then one specifically for hepatitis B. Then we have one for the liver, which is going to be 3 to 4 combinations in one, addressing all situations with hepatitis itself. So we have the herbs for the liver, which is old man's beard, yellow duck, burdock root, dandelion, milk thistle, turmeric, watercress, which is food for the liver, which restores the Kupffer cells, the Kupffer cells, Solak. Then we have herbs for the hepatitis B, which are hyssop, thyme, pastel plant, lemon balm, and we have a juice which you can make to also assist, which goes along with ginger, parsley, 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and you're getting a container with NAC, which is woolly immune, which is a woolly immune herb you could get, NAC, and then you have the MGM3, which in other words goes back to the MCP. And that is what you're going to use, which is going to help detoxify the liver. Then, most important, and I'm giving this because this is the direct remedies we are going to use to help restore, cleanse, restore your liver, rectify hepatitis B and all other hepatitis as well, whether it be A to C to E. We have hepatitis for the overall, which is hyssop, dandelion, yellow duck, burdock root, milk thistle, schisandra, and bacano. Bacano, how you're using bacano, which for those who don't know, is bacano, I believe is trumpet leaves or trumpet tree. You get the leaves, the dried leaves of bacano, a good few. You add them to a pot of water. It's big. Bacano is not small. It's not small leaf. It's big leaf crumpled up like tarantulas, literally. Sorry for the for those who are afraid of spiders, Slovakia, but it is what it is. I myself fear of spiders sometimes. Anyways, so as you say, bacano, you're getting about 8 or 10 to a big pot. You have to push it down. The water will assist in keeping it down, but you have to push it down because it's firm. And what you're doing is you cover it down and you boil it for the next 5 minutes. Let it simmer for the next 5 minutes after. Meaning at the lowest heat, let it simmer for the next 5 to 7 minutes, and then you take it off. You just need that alone, by the way. You drink that alone, I believe a liter twice a day, and you're drinking either alkaline water or pH balance or spring water to be exact, after 1 liter of the spring water with the 1 liter each of the bacano, and you are fasting for 1 day, and you are going to reset your liver. You are going to reset your liver. One more time, you are going to reset your liver, and it's going to rectify the situation by itself, by the way. But the combination together is what you're going to use to rectify hepatitis. So let's continue with the detoxification of the liver. Okay, so because when you're detoxifying the liver, it begins to raise other toxins that will also need to be detoxed or removed with stronger ingredients, right? So you had to increase the kind of compound that comes from herbs. There's glutathione, I forget the name. You had to increase that. In order to increase that, you had to get turmeric, guava, avocados, watermelons, strawberries, Brazil nuts, quinoa, hemp seed, walnuts, raisins, mangoes, grapes, cantaloupes, tamarind, very crucial. Tamarind is very high. Sauerkraut is very high as well. Coconut jelly as well. Prunes, plums, okras, cucumbers as well. Ginger as well. Lettuce, watercresses, and dates. All of these or any of these you can choose to make up to increase the glutathione. I forget how it's pronounced. It's a lot. The glutathione boosts your immune system and neutralizes free radicals, which helps in the production and repair of your DNA. So when your DNA begins to recover correctly, then you would see the symptoms of the hepatitis being reduced. The most important function of the liver is to remove the bodily waste. You have to remember that. And if your liver is inflamed due to hepatitis, it's going to cause problems with the rest of your body. So you need to get that out first, get it in check first, so the liver could continue to produce its functions, and eventually it's going to fix itself. But you are also going to be able to help it to fix itself with the rest, right? So because remember, if the most important part of the function of the liver is to remove bodily waste, and they're not doing so, it's going to back up, right? So removing bodily waste and choosing which waste to literally get rid of out of the body completely is what its function really is, right? So and what you need to assist in that as also would be the liver enzyme, because the enzyme still act, because the liver enzyme functions, which are by protein, albumin, select alkaline phosphatase. I believe the next one is alanin, transaminase, I believe, transaminase or transaminase. So I'm trying to remember the names. So like, basically, it's in my head, now, but trying to bring it out, I just can't remember exactly how it's pronounced. So like, for that, but the liver enzyme functions is very crucial, and I will tell you why. Just let me, let's try to recollect the rest. I had to get my book. Find my book. Which one I find my book? I was just trying to get the rest. Well, I can't remember it this way it is, right? I believe it had one called asparatate, and the next one was called gamma glutamate transferase, I believe. Glutamate transferase. And those protects you from disease or any harm from the liver and body. This is why it's very important. This is why these things are make sure and keep in my head. But pronunciation might be accurate, but trust me, information is there. So once these enzyme begins to raise, it begins to damage the liver. That's why the globulin increases to the point where it will affect the gallbladder now, right? And the bile duct, and before you know it, your entire body is going to be fully corrupted. And this begin to get symptoms like jaundice, sickle cell, and cancer. For those who did not know, who wasn't aware of this. So the main point right here, the main point, let me get my book. I think I'm probably missing a few. Hold on, let me get my book. Hold on, I think. Let me see if I find it. No, it's not this book. This one. Beard me, Solakia. Ay. Is it? No, it's back of this book, I think. No, it's not this either. Okay, I might have missed a few. Again, I can't remember everything, but I might have missed a few. But even so, let's listen come on, regardless. Right, so this is why it's important to use things like ginger. Ginger is what is used now to. That's why people just use ginger in meats too, when you really watch it. Because what it does do, it breaks down and remove toxins, and it also alkalizes certain point, so that when you consume it, it's not going to be a detriment onto you, but more so a nutrient base to you, if you understand where I'm coming from. Right? Things like alcohol and drugs can be removed faster with the same effect of using ginger. Alright? Simple as you can get it. Alright? How you could use a ginger now, you can, for your meat, you can season it with in your meats, or how you want to use it. If you want to do it just plain, you could grate up the ginger, and then you add hot water to steep it. Normally you don't boil it, but you steep it to get the strength out of it, and you cover it down in a metal cup so that it draws completely and correctly. You add a pinch of lemon to that if you want, or you can drink it just so. It's going to be a little bit hot because you know it burns, but it does the trick. You can drink a cup of that 2 to 3 times a day without any issues. Let's continue. I just want to make sure I add that to that one time. So this is why, and the reason I bring that out, because what we give was remedies directly used to combat hepatitis, prevent things like cancer, and that was the point of this lesson. So you get 5 remedies, short ones which are very effective, and long ones which are even more effective and get the job done. I hope you all was paying attention. I hope you was listening, and I hope this lesson is edifying. Okay, at the end of the day, our purpose of being here is to edify the lost sheep of the house of Israel, more so the elect of Israel, and to help them out of any form of trouble from any disease that they may be going through. All right. So let's get our precept in Sirach 38 and verse 12. It says, "Then give place to a physician, for Yahweh had created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him." There's a time when in their hands there's good success, for they shall also pray unto Yahweh that he would prosper that which they give for ease and for remedies, and remedy to prolong life. Is the most important point of it, because at the end of the day, part in serving Yahweh Shai, you're going to have a sound body, and Scripture says a health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. It continues, there's no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. The reason why it is important too, because it shows that you are what? Not defiling your temple. Number 3, it also shows, aside from your obedience, but it also allows you, if you are fixed in the ways of Yahweh Shai, that you will continue to remain obedient while living that life long, being obedient unto the ways of Yahweh Shai, being of use or of service unto him. So I hope this information yet again is clear and edifying. And we say Shalom Yasharala, Kal Halaliam Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh, Bahasham Rakakodash. We give double honor to the apostles and prophets and elders of James Camp, but to ask great minister for the bring forth the 100% truth that I've been currently edified under. Shalom to the elect, Tabernacle of David, and I am my brother Zariak saying to you, Shalom.